Picture this. A man sits alone at midnight. The room is dark. His wife is asleep in the next room. His children are dreaming down the hall. Everything he built, the home, the family, the life, is right there. And yet, he is somewhere else entirely. Not physically, mentally, emotionally. He has been hijacked, not by an enemy, not by a rival, but by something he let through the front door of his own mind. Something that started with a single glance, a single thought, a single feeling he told himself was harmless. That's how it always begins. Lust doesn't knock. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive wearing armor, giving you a fair chance to prepare. It slips in quietly, through your eyes first. A lingering look, a scrolled image, a scene you told yourself you'd skip but didn't. And then it moves deeper, into the mind. It sets up camp there, whispering things, rewiring things. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, it begins to rewrite how you see the world, how you see women, how you see yourself. History is littered with the wreckage of great men who underestimated this enemy. Brilliant men, powerful men, men who could lead armies, build empires, command rooms, brought to ruin not by war or poverty or failure, but by an appetite they refused to govern. Samson, Solomon, David, names carved into the foundations of civilization, all of them at some point undone by desire unchecked. And yet we look at men today who can't make it through a phone screen without falling, and we act surprised. The enemy hasn't changed, only the battlefield has. Now, let's be honest about something the world doesn't want you to think too deeply about. God did not create a woman to be consumed. He did not place her on this earth to be a fantasy, a moment of pleasure, a digital image. When he formed her, he was solving a problem no other creation could solve. He was making a helper, a counterpart, a crown. The word used in Genesis, Ezer, doesn't translate simply as helper the way we think of an assistant. In nearly every other place that word appears in Scripture, it describes God himself coming to the aid of people in desperate need. That is the weight of what he placed inside a woman. She was designed to carry the home when it's heavy, to speak truth when it's uncomfortable, to raise children who fear God and love people, to stand beside a man in his purpose, not as a decoration, but as a force. But a man blinded by lust will never see any of that. He will look at a woman and see only what she looks like, only what she can offer him in the moment. He will chase her beauty, but run from her depth. He will want her body, but never learn her soul. And if, somehow, a good woman finds her way to him, his lust won't leave at the altar. It will follow him into the marriage, into the bedroom, into the quiet moments when he should be fully present, but his mind is already somewhere else. We talk about lust like it's a personal problem, like it only costs the man who carries it. It doesn't. The woman who marries him pays for it. She feels it, that invisible distance, the sense that she is never quite enough, never the one he's fully choosing. She watches his eyes move when they shouldn't. She feels the chill of being compared, silently, to something she never signed up to compete with. And over time, something in her goes quiet. Something she used to offer freely starts to close off, not because she stopped loving him, but because loving someone who won't truly see you is one of the loneliest experiences on earth. The children pay for it too. A son raised in a home where his father's eyes are undisciplined will grow into a man who believes that is normal. He will repeat it. He will carry those patterns into his own relationships, his own home, his own marriage. A daughter raised in that same home will grow into a woman who expects men to look through her rather than at her. She will lower her standards before she even knows what standards are. Lust is never just personal. It is generational.
So how do you fight it?
How do you actually win this war? The first thing you do is cut the supply line. You are not stumbling into temptation as much as you are being delivered it. The algorithm knows you. It has studied your patterns, your weak moments, your late nights. And it has built an invisible pipeline that runs directly from its servers to your most vulnerable impulses. That is not an accident. That is an architecture built to exploit you. So the first battle is not willpower, it is environment design. Press the disinterested button, block the content, mute the accounts. Curate your feed like you would curate your home, because your mind is your home. And you wouldn't let filth pile up in your living room, so stop allowing it to pile up in your head. The second thing is to replace the noise with something that actually feeds you. The mind doesn't do well with a vacuum. You can't simply remove something without putting something better in its place. Nature and neuroscience both agree on this. If you stop consuming filth but don't fill that space with substance, the emptiness will welcome back everything you tried to evict. Feed it sermons, feed it books, feed it testimonies of men who have walked through this fire and come out the other side still standing. Fill your hours with godly wisdom, not because it makes you religious, but because what you consume shapes what you become. The third thing is to build a life too full to waste. Idle men are vulnerable men. The hours you spend scrolling, wandering mentally through digital wastelands, those are not neutral hours. Those are hours your enemy is investing in your destruction while you think you're just relaxing. Go to the gym, not to look better, but to remember that your body is yours, that you are capable of discipline, that you can make a commitment and keep it. Build a skill, chase a purpose. Find men who are building something and build alongside them. A man on mission has no room for distraction, not because he's perfect, but because he's occupied with something that matters more. And the fourth thing, guard your eyes. Every ancient city knew this principle. If you guard the gate, you protect everything inside. The walls don't matter if you leave the entrance unprotected. Your eyes are the gate. Lust cannot take what it cannot see. This is not about living with your head down or treating every woman like a threat. It is about intentionality. It is about developing the discipline to redirect your gaze before a glance becomes a stare, before a stare becomes a thought, before a thought becomes a chain. Win at the gate, and you win everywhere. Here is the truth that the world will not tell you, but that you already sense somewhere deep in your chest. You were not made for this. You were not made to be owned by your appetites, to be led around by impulse, to sit in a dark room scrolling while your destiny waits on the other side of the discipline you haven't yet chosen. You were made to lead, to build, to protect, to stand in front of your children one day and be someone they can model their lives after, to look your wife in the eye without guilt, to walk into a room and bring peace instead of chaos, strength instead of weakness, presence instead of distraction. Lust has been feeding on your potential for long enough. Starve it. Not someday, not after one more slip, not when things get easier, now. Because the moment you stop feeding it is the moment it begins to die. And the moment it begins to die is the moment you, the real you, the man you were called to be, begins to rise. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Break the pattern. Reclaim the power.